Hello everyone. So I'm re-recording my previous video, which was about uh, the RECmd batch files, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I got a lot of feedback about the sound quality of the recording, which wasn't good enough. So I did some settings and tests. So hopefully this time it's much better. And moving forward, the recording, which will be much better than what it was. Again, I'm no video expert, no sound expert. So it's all based on trial and error. And I did do check a couple of videos. Hopefully they did help me get the like the sound output or the sound quality to a better level. Now, the goal of this video is to talk about batch files or these batch examples and how we can use them with RECmd, which is another one of Eric Zimmerman's great tools. Now, these batch files, by the way, think of it like this. You have, when you run, let's say, the your tool against the Windows Registry, like Windows Registry Hive, whether system, software, regardless, you are going to be parsing a lot of data and pulling a lot of data out from those hives just because of the sheer volume of information which is in there. And then usually these parsers will go and parse kind of like everything that they know and have like been set up to parse from those hives. Now, what if you don't want all of that? Or what if you are targeting specific, let's say, data entries in those hives? You're targeting specific artifacts in there. And let's say also if you are running this on a wider scale, not one system, two systems, probably on a network, a complete network of systems, and you want faster results. And again, you know what artifacts you want to pull. This is where batch files come handy because you can create your batch files to kind of like pull only the artifacts that you're interested in and then kind of ignore everything else. So how do we create these batch files? As you can see, you go to the directory batch examples. You'll find a lot of them have already been created for you. These are a lot of them already being created for you. But what we can do is we can start with the batch example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my batch one, okay? And I'm going to edit this. And I don't want any of these. I only want to, let's say, look at user assist data. So this is the only thing I want to look at. So let's say I'm going to delete all of this. Let's delete all of these. And then I don't want anything else from this. I'm going to delete them. And as you can see, there's a description of what is this. It's giving you who's the author, version number. If let's say later on you decide to do some updates, then you can kind of follow up on what updates have been doing and track all of that. ID is just a GUID, so it's just a unique ID. You can see the description, user assist. Hive type is telling you from where this data is going to be pulled from. So anti-user, which is the anti-user.dat file. Category, this falls under the execution because user assist will like give us details about like process execution or program execution. Recursive true, no comment. We have nothing to do other than that. And now let's go ahead and see how we can use it. So I've already, using Cape, I've already extracted a lot of this data. I'll talk about Cape in a little bit, just because I got some good feedback from Andrew and actually from Eric. Both of them gave me some good feedback about the previous video and what could be done better. So first thing is we created our batch file. Let's go ahead now and run cd RECmd. If you just run the tool, by the way, like this, it's gonna, like all of Eric's tools, you'll get this output about the options, what they are, like this help menu, which is to help you with what do you want to do and how can you do it. So we want to use RECmd again. I'm going to use the file and I'm going to be parsing this file. Actually, I'm going to use minus D. Then I'll just put the file location. So I'm going to do that. So the hives I want to process are in this path. Okay. And then what I want to do is I want to also say the batch file. So minus minus bn. As you can see, this is the option to use the batch files. Okay, and sample files included. Now, in my case, batch examples, I'm going to use my batch one, the one we just created. And again, the goal here is just to parse the user assist. We don't want anything else. We are not interested in anything else, and just user assist. But again, this is really up to you, and depending on what do you want to do with what data do you want to excuse me. Now, also one other option, which is really, really good and important, is the minus minus NL. Now, when this is true, it will ignore the transaction logs for dirty hives, as you can see over here. So if you leave it, by the way, if you don't specify minus NL false, that's already, by the way, the default. And what that means is this is going to actually process the transactional log. So if there's any old data or if there's data which is in those transactions that has not been reflected back to the registry, we can use this to also go and make sure that those that data is now being processed as well. So we kind of like don't ignore them because there might be some important information in there. And so again, this is up to you, but if you want, you can do like that. If you don't use it, the default is to use it actually, because Eric knows that this is a very important data that we might find something in there. So it's already parsing it for you. But if you want to turn it off, you need to say minus minus NL true, which will turn it off. Now, I want to also save my results as a CSV in a CSV file, but I'm going to store my results on user, i.e. that's I'm going to do, let's call it EMD. Just going to do that. And then also I'm going to do and I'm also going to specify the file name. So I'm going to call this my user, or let's say user test on dot. Okay, or maybe let's just do my batch so we know which. Like, so let's do this, and now this is going to go and process them. So it found 2 hives, as you can see, and it's processing them, and it found 75 keys, etc. It was very fast. Why? Because it was targeted to just go there and pull the user assist information from there. So now if we use like Timeline Explorer, we can see now the results are here, my batch. So if we get Timeline Explorer, excuse me, and just open the CSV file that we pulled, we can see the user assist execution, which is all of this details about user assist and how many times it has been run and where it was found in which hive, which piece. So that's example number 1. Let's go ahead and do another example. So let's say, and this was to, let's say, parse user data. Let's create another batch file. I'm going to also use my batch file. This time I'm going to do batch 2. Let's open it. But this time, let's actually, in this case, instead of user assist, let's go ahead and pull like let's say, yeah, let's do system ASEP for auto. Now in this case, what I want to do is look for run. Let's find all of those run entries. No run in here. Okay. So auto run, we can see this. Let's do 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 this. What we have one, and then we have this for run and run one. Probably I'm gonna copy all of these, okay? Because these are the ones we are interested in. Again, it's really up to what you want to do with this. But let's say these are the auto runs that we want to check. Okay, and this is now in my batch file too. As you can see, this is checking from software. All of them actually are from software. Let's just add probably one from a different location. Yeah, probably the one at the beginning was, yeah, this is from system. So let's do this again, just as an example. You get the idea. If you want to build your own, you should be able, after this video, to go ahead and build your own batch files, which could be used for processing. Now, Andrew did mention to me that this is probably, what is it, DFIR. There should be one called DFIR. Well, it's in the Cape directory. Let's see. And I'll talk about this in a little bit. Yeah, we'll update this. We'll come back. No problem. There is one of them which is kind of being updated, and not everything. There are regular updates to it. So again, anyway, we did my batch 2, okay, and this time I want to use my batch 2 with processing only those, and so I'm only interested in this case these auto run locations, and they are found in system and in the software hub. So let's go ahead and adjust our entry. So this is going to be 2, and this is also going to be 2. Now this time we are going to be pulling Windows system 32, then config. This is where the hives are located, and this is where I'm going to store my results. So let's do that. You can see it found four hives. Now it's processing them. Again, just targeting those entries which we specified in the batch file, which, as you can see, my batch number 2, and then I'm using that one. And again, I could easily, by the way, just combine them into one file, but was to show you explain the idea. So now if I go to my directory, I have this. And if I go to load this, we can see these are the entries that were found, which are categorized under ASEPs. Okay, one is run and one is run once, and these are services which have been auto started. As you can see, all of this information was pulled for you automatically, and like I said, we targeted a specific artifact that we want. So you can build these batch files depending on what you want, and then share them with your peers, and also maybe share them online with the community. Now, I do want to go and cover one thing which was kind of really cool to see. which is this tool or this script that Andrew has created, which this tool, what it will do is it will update, I would say, Cape, and it will also update the tools that come with Cape. So the tools inside, let's say if we go to Cape's directory, this is Cape, and then if we go to modules, we go to bin, then we go, and yeah, under bin, these tools don't get updated automatically with Cape. So what you need to do is you need to update. And this is what this script is all about. So this script should be, can be used kind of, okay, so let's go ahead, copy it. So we could use this script, close this, and based on the documentation, as you can see, all you need to do is throw it in the same directory as Cape. If we go back here, throw it in here. Now we have it over here. And now if we do, all you need to do is you can do this. So Cape update silent, and that's it. So disable the progress bar, but if you do want the progress bar, then probably remove this. And now what this is going to do, okay, okay. So it is now updating. So it's really up to you if you want to do it like this. And now it's updating Cape. I think it will also probably give us some logs maybe, and change log or something. As a version newer, all you have to is run the script by itself without any arguments. Want leverage silent or do not, and I don't think we want that. So this is now downloading, updating the tools. As you can see, does not exist, so it's creating the directory. So it's doing all of the work for you, all of that. Now this, by the way, doesn't just update the tools. The good thing about it as well is it is also to modules, bin, and RECmd batch examples. This should also, by the way, be updating these batch examples. Any updates, any files that have been added newly to the system, these are also being updated using Cape. So as you can see, updates, wait for it to finish. And as you can see, these now have been added, by the way. These did not exist previously. So it's really doing all of the work for you. I think it's a really cool script to help you with doing the updates. And then this way, once you do have this, by the way, is now you can easily run batch files as well using Cape. So when you run Cape and do the modules to process your results, your acquired artifacts, you'll see that this is going to be used as well, because it's going to be pulled out for you. See, still working and continuing. But anyway, the goal of this video was to kind of talk about like batch files, what they are, how to use them, how you can create your own batch file. As you can see, it was very easy to create our own batch files. There are batch files which are kind of, this is now getting updated probably. There are batch files which come out of the box, or let's say directly with Cape, so you can use those with, sorry, with RECmd, you can use those. But if you decide to build your own, for whatever reasons you have, or maybe something that you discovered and it's not here and you need it, you can just go ahead and do that. If I go and open finally the batch file, the DFIR one, you can see this is all of the detail. Oh, this is the MD file. This is the markdown version. This is the REB, is for the batch files. And you can see this is pulling, by the way, all of this information. If you scroll down, you'll see it's pulling all of this information. It's giving you details. Where are these located? Like references to go and read about. Where are they located? Some comments about them. As you can see, this is a really good batch file, and it's pulling a lot of things for you, especially probably might be useful in an instant response. Okay, so that's it for this video. That's the goal. We even went over the amount of time that I covered in the previous one. The previous one was probably less than 20 minutes. This one is now more than 20 minutes, but I hope with a more clear videos, like a more clear sound, you'll be able to benefit from this. Ali Hadi was with you. I'll see you in another future video. Thank you and have a good day.